Well, Anthony must be very excited heading to the Newmarket with Toorak Toff, and even more excited after that gallop this morning.
Yeah, he galloped really well. We knew he was going along particularly well. He trialled well at Cranbourne a couple of weeks ago, and his work's been good ever since. But it's nice to have that confirmation going into these big races. As I've mentioned, it's 95 years since a horse has won the Newmarket first up, so we are setting ourselves a bit of a challenge. But at least you know you're going to go, and the horse is fit and well, and you can't have him any better than that. It was a pretty slick time.
And he did run time, as you mentioned, 2 3/4 of a second quicker than what Foxwedge ran earlier.
Yeah, and look, that's satisfying. But unfortunately, on Saturday, Edward, we've got to give the horse 6 kilos, so that's going to make up, gobble up that time difference pretty quickly. But couldn't be happier with our horse, and he'll do us proud, regardless on Saturday of whether he's in the winner's stall or somewhere thereabouts. He'll run a good race.
Just explain how you got into the horse.
It was an interesting story because a mate of mine who's a client of Rick Orlacey's, Bill Cockram, who's got a farm down our way in Geelong, rang me and said, look, got a few horses with Rick, and Rick's looking to sell down his shareholding in Toorak Toff. Would you be interested in a potential stallion prospect down the track, knowing that I'd secured Dan Zero for last breeding season and was certainly dabbling in the stallion game, and I spoke to Rick direct, and we were able to conjure up a bit of a deal to buy in 10%, and so I raced in the ownership last spring when he won his second Group 1 race, the Rupert Clark Stakes, which was a greut thrill, obviously, and at that point in time I thought, I don't really want this horse standing anywhere else but my place. So we set about finding a deal that suited all the other owners and part owners, and Rick himself, who still remains in the ownership. And it was a worthwhile experience and a great experience to go through, just to try and work out what everyone wanted. There's a different range of owners in the horse. There's blokes that like a punt. There's blokes that just like racing a horse. There's people that are keen on the breeding aspect of it. One of the guys owned a quarter of Dash for Cash, and he's still got a good chunk of Toorak Toff and will come breeding with us. So all the owners really liked the idea that we could share in the whole career of Toorak Toff, and they weren't just confined to having to sell out the whole horse and wave him goodbye when he had his final swan song on the racetrack. So it's going to be a terrific journey for us, and hopefully it's one of the pinnacles will be on Saturday.
Obviously, being from Rosemont, you're looking at him also from a breeding perspective. What are the sort of long-term plans you've got for Toorak Toff?
He'll go to stud this season, and there's no better state to be standing a horse at the moment with the Vobis Gold and the Vobis program itself. It has had a massive impact, and I think breeders all over the country are looking to Victoria to really pick up and go forwards in leaps and bounds. So I'm excited to have a horse like him, because they don't grow on trees, multiple Group 1 winners that have the good looks of Toorak Toff and give you that colonial tough speed element, as well as the Star Kingdom line, which he'd be the last of the Star Kingdom line horses, which the breeding experts will tell you till you're blue in the face. It's a strain that we can ill afford to lose in Australia, so it's nice to be the flag bearer for Star Kingdom as well.
What sort of service fee would you be looking at, say, first season for him?
Look, he'll be affordable. That's probably where I want to, as much as I want to say on him now, because he has still got an autumn campaign that could offer more success. But certainly he'll be affordable. We stood Dan Zero last season at $10,000. Look, you would expect he'll be upwards of that, but certainly we want to appeal to the Victorian breeders and interstate breeders to have a crack at this horse, because I think there'll be money to be made in him from a breeding point of view. He was a lovely yearling himself. If he throws to type, he will smash it out of the park at the major yearling sales around the country. So I would just encourage everyone to give Rosemont a call when his racing career comes to a close, because I think he'll be attractively priced for all breeders.
Newmarket looks like it's going to be a terrific race on Saturday, a huge field. likely 24 runners assembled for the big race. Who do you think's the one he's got to beat to win?
Oh, look, Haylist is a star, but at the same time, I mean, he's got history against him as well with the weight that he's been asked to carry. Look, this race traditionally does go to the horse on the way through that looks like it is an up-and-coming star of the turf, and probably the horse most likely would be Fox Wedge in that category. He trialled particularly well. I was pretty impressed with his trial before Toorak Toff, and I think probably with the featherweight, he's the horse that I'll probably just have a little saver on.